Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we break down fitness myths using real science. I'm your host, your personal trainer and fitness guide, and today we're tackling a super popular question. Can you burn fat in just one area of your body? Is spot reduction legit, or is it just fitness fiction? We'll dig into the biology of fat burning, how your body uses fat for energy, what really works for fat loss, and even answer, does muscle turn into fat? Let's dive in. First up, what exactly is spot reduction? It's the idea that you can do exercises that target a specific area, like crunches for belly fat or tricep dips for arm fat, and lose fat just there. But here's the truth backed by science. A 2007 study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research tested spot reduction by having people train only one arm for 12 weeks. Guess what? There was no significant fat loss in that arm compared to the rest of the body. Fat doesn't disappear locally, it gets burned systemically, which means you burn fat over your whole body and not in one specific area. Let's dive into the fascinating science of how your body actually burns fat. Most people think of fat loss as simply working out more or eating less, but there's a lot more happening beneath the surface. Understanding this process can help you make smarter choices on your fitness journey. When you're in a caloric deficit, meaning you burn more energy than you eat, your body needs to find alternative sources of fuel to keep you going. This is when it taps into its energy reserves, and one of the main reserves is body fat. This process doesn't just happen during exercise, it continues even when you're resting, sleeping, or going about your daily activities. Body fat is stored in specialized cells called adipocytes, which make up your adipose tissue. These fat cells act as your body's long-term energy bank, storing excess calories as triglycerides for times when food is scarce or energy demands are high. Triglycerides are the main form of fat stored in your body. They're made up of 3 fatty acids attached to a glycerol backbone, and they're packed tightly inside your fat cells. When your body senses it needs more energy, it signals these cells to break down the triglycerides. This breakdown process is called lipolysis. Hormones like adrenaline and glucagon trigger lipolysis, causing the triglycerides to split into free fatty acids and glycerol. These molecules are then released into your bloodstream, where they travel to tissues that need energy, like your muscles. Once inside your muscle cells, the free fatty acids are transported to the mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses of your cells. Here they undergo a process called beta oxidation, which breaks them down even further to produce usable energy. This is the moment when fat is truly burned. The energy released powers your muscles during exercise, fuels your brain, and keeps your organs functioning. The more active you are, the more your body relies on this process to meet its energy needs. But what actually happens to the fat after it's broken down? Chemically, the byproducts of fat metabolism are carbon dioxide and water. The carbon dioxide travels through your bloodstream to your lungs, where you exhale it every time you breathe out. The water produced is excreted from your body in several ways, through sweat, urine, and even the moisture in your breath. That's why staying hydrated is important when you're losing fat. Your body needs to flush out these byproducts efficiently. The energy released during this process is what powers every movement you make, from lifting weights to running, cycling, or even just walking up the stairs. Your body is constantly using and replenishing energy, and burning fat is a key part of that cycle. So yes, when you burn fat, it doesn't just melt away. It's converted into carbon dioxide and water, which leave your body through your breath, sweat, and urine. That's the real science behind where the fat goes. Fat is primarily used as an energy source when you're at rest or doing low to moderate intensity cardio, when you're in a caloric deficit, and when you've been exercising for a prolonged period, like after 20 minutes or so. During high-intensity workouts, your body actually prioritizes carbs or glycogen because they're faster to burn. But over time, as glycogen gets depleted, fat takes over as your fuel. Ever hear someone say, if you stop training, your muscle turns into fat? That's biologically impossible. Muscle and fat are 2 completely different tissues with distinct structures and functions. What actually happens is, if you stop training and eat in a surplus, muscle mass may decrease, what we call atrophy, and fat gain increases due to lack of activity. It may look like muscle turned to fat, but that's not what's happening. Science confirms, Muscle does not convert into fat. Fact or fiction? Total fiction. Why does your body store fat anyway? The answer goes way back, thousands of years in fact. It's actually rooted in our evolution, shaped by the challenges our ancestors faced. Imagine living in a world where food wasn't always available, and you never knew when your next meal would come. In those times, the ability to store extra energy as fat was a crucial survival tool. It meant the difference between life and death during long winters or periods of famine. Fat is your body's most efficient energy storage system. Unlike carbohydrates, which are stored in limited amounts as glycogen in your muscles and liver, fat can be stored in much larger quantities. This allows your body to have a long-lasting reserve of energy that it can tap into when food is scarce or when you need extra fuel for physical activity. 1 gram of fat contains about 9 calories, compared to just 4 for carbs or protein. This means fat packs more than twice the energy into the same amount of space. That's why your body prefers to store excess energy as fat. It's simply the most space-efficient way to save up for the future. When you eat more calories than your body burns, the excess energy doesn't just disappear. Instead, your body converts it into triglycerides, which are then stored in fat cells through a process called lipogenesis. This process is like your body's way of putting away leftovers for a rainy day. It's a natural response to abundance, ensuring you have reserves when times get tough. Your body is basically saying, let's save this for later, just in case we go hungry. It's a bit like putting money in a savings account or storing food in the pantry. This instinct to store energy helped our ancestors survive unpredictable environments, and it's still hardwired into us today. Even though most of us have easy access to food, this whole system is carefully regulated by hormones, with insulin playing a major role. When you eat, your blood sugar rises and insulin is released to help move that sugar into your cells. But insulin also signals your body to store any extra energy as fat, making it a key player in fat storage. Another important hormone is leptin, which is produced by your fat cells. Leptin acts like a messenger, telling your brain how much fat you have stored. When your fat stores are full, leptin signals your brain to reduce hunger and increase energy use. But if your fat stores are low, leptin levels drop, making you feel hungrier and encouraging your body to hold on to fat. And then there's cortisol, the so-called stress hormone. When you're under stress, your body releases more cortisol, which can actually promote fat storage, especially around your belly. This is your body's way of preparing for tough times, but in our modern world, chronic stress can lead to unwanted weight gain. So, the next time you wonder why your body stores fat, remember, it's an ancient survival strategy, shaped by evolution, and managed by a complex network of hormones working behind the scenes. So, what's the best way to burn fat? It's a question almost everyone asks at some point in their fitness journey, and the answer is both simple and complex. There's no magic pill or quick fix, but there are proven strategies that work if you stick with them. Let's break down the science and the practical steps you can take to start seeing real results. First off, you need to be in a caloric deficit, meaning you must consume fewer calories than you burn. This is the foundation of fat loss. No matter what diet you follow, this principle remains the same. Tracking your food intake, being mindful of portion sizes, and making healthier food choices are all key. Using apps or keeping a food journal can help you stay accountable and aware of what you're eating. Resistance training is super important too, because it helps build and preserve lean muscle mass. Lifting weights or doing bodyweight exercises not only shapes your physique, but also ensures that the weight you lose comes from fat, not muscle. This is crucial for maintaining a healthy metabolism and achieving that toned look many people want. When you build muscle, you're actually increasing your resting metabolic rate, which means your body burns more calories even when you're not working out. Think of muscle as your body's internal engine. It keeps burning fuel all day long, even while you're sitting or sleeping. Cardiovascular exercise also helps with extra calorie burn. Activities like running, cycling, swimming, or even brisk walking can significantly increase your daily energy expenditure. Cardio is great for heart health, endurance, and burning off those extra calories, especially when combined with strength training. And here's the kicker: the more lean muscle you have, the more calories you burn at rest. This means your body becomes more efficient at using energy, making it easier to maintain your results over time. Rest and recovery are also important, as muscles need time to repair and grow after workouts. Why? Because muscle is metabolically active tissue. Unlike fat, which just sits there, Muscle is constantly using energy to maintain itself. This is why people with more muscle mass often find it easier to stay lean and keep the weight off. Studies estimate that each kilogram of muscle burns about 13 calories per day at rest. While that might not sound like a huge number, it really adds up over time, especially as you build more muscle through consistent training. Doesn't sound like a lot, but honestly, it adds up. Every bit of muscle you gain helps you burn more calories around the clock, making your fat loss journey more effective and sustainable. Remember, consistency is key, and combining smart nutrition, regular resistance training, and cardio will set you up for long-term success. What's considered a healthy body fat percentage? According to the American Council on Exercise, for men, essential fat ranges from 2 to 5%. Athletes are usually around 6 to 13%. Fitness levels are about 14 to 17%. Average is 18 to 24%. And obese is 25% or higher. For women, essential fat is 10 to 13%. Athletes are typically 14 to 20%. Fitness is 21 to 24%, average is 25 to 31%, and obese is 32% or more. Just a heads up, going too low can disrupt hormone production and immune function. So to wrap it up, spot reduction? Total myth. Fat is burned systemically through a mix of diet, cardio, and resistance training. That means you burn fat over your whole body and not in one specific area. And muscle does not turn into fat, ever. The real key to burning fat is building muscle and maintaining a caloric deficit. And when you burn fat, it's actually converted to carbon dioxide and water, literally breathed and sweated out. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button, hit subscribe for more science-backed fitness content, and drop your questions in the comments.